Alright folks, welcome to a little stream of Harvest Moon 64. Don't know how long I'm going to be streaming this one because I still need to upload the next Tale of Two Towns update. It's a two-parter. I was going to put that up today, but then I forgot to ever actually edit it. I do have it commentated, so it's coming. But since I'm in the process of recording Bomberman 64, I figured now's as good a time as ever to also whip out my old Harvest Moon 64 cartridge. This is one of the very few games for my N64 that I still have my original cartridge for, so we're going to see my old save from way back in the day. I cannot really begin to tell you what drew me to this game. I must have seen it in Harvest Moon, or I must have seen it in, like, Nintendo Power or something. Maybe I saw it in... we used to have a Hollywood Video out here. It's kind of like... It was our version of Blockbuster. We had Blockbuster, but we never went there. And I used to rent games from there all the time. Maybe I saw the box art there, and something about it drew me to it. I couldn't begin to tell you. I really don't remember. But, for whatever reason, this game, my very first Harvest Moon, is what got me into the series. And it's about as good as an introduction as any, really. I think they improved a lot with later entries. But there's still a lot of charm to this one. Can anyone confirm to me if the original SNES version also started with your grandpa dying? Because if not, that whole cliche started with this one. If your only Harvest Moon, or if your first was Back to Nature, I feel really sorry for you. Back to Nature was sort of the PS1, sort of a rebuild of Harvest Moon 64, but it changed a lot of things. A lot of the relationships and families were switched around. There was a little bit more depth to the characters, but unfortunately, the entire control scheme was absolute garbage. In this game, you're going to see you can walk up, down, and left, right, and also in all diagonals. Back to Nature could only be controlled on the diagonal, but you could also only control it by moving the control stick up and down, or maybe even the D-pad. So it was basically unplayable. The Game Boy Advance remake, Friends in Mineral Town, though, is probably one of the best Harvest Moons. This is also one of the few games that everyone in the family played. That one's probably my sister. That one's probably my cousin Carrie, and that one was definitely my cousin Alex. This one and Animal Crossing was, for some reason, just the ones that we as kids all got drawn to. Let's play a little bit of the first one, because this is the first year. Gives a good example of how things run. A lot of the basic Harvest Moon stuff starts here. The calendar does not tell you everything, though. There's a pretty easy trick here. Let me see, how do I whistle for my dog? There he is. Now I just sit here, and as long as he's running, he's building up his stats. So I could sit here for days. And then when the dog race came around, he would win, no problem. And yeah, you can change the channels. This uses the C buttons. We haven't had buttons for those in a while. Now go outside and be a pest. This was one of the tricks for Harvest Moon 64. You could destroy these rocks using your hammer, but there was no real downside to having them. So, like, if you just hung onto them, you could use them as impromptu fences. And since the actual wooden fences you could make with the wooden lumber, those would break over time. These would stay no problem. So they're actually better, so it was worth hanging on to. I mean, it wasn't until later ones that destroying little rocks actually gave you an additional type of lumber. They're a little hard to jump over, though. Surprising amount of lumber. Al didn't even bother getting any chickens. Or any animals. I have plenty in my own personal save. Only out on the farm can you actually change the camera angle. No real purpose. But as you can see, I can actually move around in all directions. You can't do that in Back to Nature. You can only move like this. Or, yeah. But you have to do that by pressing the up and down buttons. Totally unintuitive. Massive hassle. It uses all the same sprites, though. Also, unlike other Harvest Moon games, the ones that come later, you upgraded your tools just by using them. So as long as you had the stamina and you kept working on it, that would be fine. Later games, you have to go mining and find copper, silver, and what have you, and then use those to upgrade the tools. I kind of like this better. I would like to see it return in some capacity. Sunshine Islands, I think, at the very least, all you had to do in that one is, just like, or no, in Magical Melody also, the more you used it, then it would level up, but you would also have to get the upgrade metal, and then it would do that. So kind of a balance there. Here we're going out. Most people in this game seem to like flowers. Sure is, and that's his only purpose. He's the fisherman. And he just kind of appears. What? I think he was, like, that sounds like a prompt he's supposed to say if you show him an animal. And it's already night. I took so long. Whatever. Also, one thing I'm glad that they took out of this game is once it becomes 5 p.m., then the guy shows up and takes whatever's in your shipping bin. If you put anything in afterwards, it doesn't count and you don't get the money. Until the next day, at least. Stamina works as all the others. As you use your tools, you run out. There's no visual indicator, though. You can only tell by how, like, what your character does. Yeah, it's really dark. Your character... We'll start it with him kind of brushing his face with a handkerchief. And then he gets progressively more exhausted as it goes on. I'm glad they added a clearer visual indicator. Story of Seasons is a very good game. Nothing you can do. This is probably the biggest hindrance going back to Harvest Moon 64. This is all the space you get. These items don't stack. You only have 1 spot for every single item, and you only have 8 spots total. Also, since I'm on the farm, for some reason it takes longer to get out of the pause screen. I was never sure why that was. If you at all want to get into Harvest Moon, I mean, like, this is a decent enough start, but I think Story of Seasons is the best one, just for how much it allows you to do at the start of the game, right away. So that's kind of how it is at the start of every Harvest, or like, of every day in Harvest Moon 64. That was a completely different button. Oh, this is something. For some reason, my select doesn't work. What I think that is, it's either one of two things. It's either a card for when I buy flower seeds, or when I buy cakes from the bakery. I'm gonna quickly reset here, and then we'll go to my main save file. Yeah, the stamp card, there it is. Push the start! Also, you notice Natsume. I kind of gave Natsume a pass, because if you know the Japanese alphabet, that's a honest mistake to make, but this is the English translation, and Natsume is the, at least up until Story of Seasons came around, they were the company that did the localization, which led me to assume they're at least somewhat a Western company, so you think they would get that right, but whatever. So in this game I've been playing for 5 in-game years. This is all the shit you can get. I was not aware that there was a way to actually beat this game, more or less, or at the very least, make your dad happy. He shows up on the 3rd year. When you get married, depending on who you married, because Ellie, I think her name is, she works at the bakery up until you get married, and then she does nothing. She takes care of the chickens, and I think milks the cows. And this is my kid. Pretty cute. That's as much as he'll ever grow up. Today's a particular day, and I don't know what. This is the cabinet. That weirds me out that you could put milk in this. I don't know why I'm hanging on to milk. Also, you need to give your wife gifts, or she gets tired of you. Time does not progress indoors. I wish they kept that. Can't do anything in the kitchen. As far as cooking, at least. So you can get recipes. And this is how you check them. All that has to do is with how your father thinks of you at the end of the year. These are all of the power berries. We haven't seen those in the Let's Plays yet. The fridge is good because you can put food in here, and food never goes bad. Don't have that much space. So I don't know why I'm hanging on to all of this. Probably because I have that much money. I didn't notice that until now. I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, Karen loves when you just keep showing your dog to her. This is the bathroom. Most of these are upgrades that you get from the carpenters. And the sink does nothing. But whatever. I probably have all that money because I don't buy anything. Also, I don't know what that little guinea pig thing at the bottom was. Oh, hey. What do you want? Dead things! You'll understand when you're older. So this is my farm. I wasn't wise enough to hang on to the small stones. Oh, do please stop. This used to be filled with crops until I got the greenhouse. Then I decided it's not worth it. Beezus. Standard. Not so standard. You can tell when I just couldn't be asked. Did I really name it Baka? Jesus. Oh yeah, in this game, if you talk to animals, they'll start following you. Yes, I used to be a weeaboo. To an extent. They're all ready to shear, but... Well, I'll show it off at least, but... In this game, it doesn't matter. Or not, I don't have it equipped, whatever. I'll just stick this into a cow. Where's Bessie? Yeah. She won the cow festival, so that's why she has gold milk. In this game, if your cows got sick, and you give them the medicine, which, another downside for this game, you can only hold one medicine at a time, which made taking care of all your sick animals kind of a pain. But when you did that, their milk level, excuse me, had to pause to sneeze, their milk level would go up. It wouldn't go all the way to gold, but that was a good way to kind of cheat the system. I thought Save the Homeland was the only PS2 Harvest Moon. Chickens until you pick them up and take their eggs. Oh, she already crated up the eggs, so... Made them all look dead. Not too much time has progressed, which is cool. That's the real benefit of the greenhouse. Just look at all these crops I can grow. I cocked that one up. So, you see it growing because I had to kind of restructure everything so I could get to that eggplant stuck against the wall. And that's why it looks like that. I don't think it matters if I water them. I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna take this one eggplant. And I'm gonna eat it. And you can't stop me. Thank you for peeing on my exit. What? So here's one of the problems of Harvest Moon 64, or maybe one of the endearing things. The localization was kind of bad. Here, dog, I'm pretty sure this is bad for you. I used to think greenhouse gases were the result of greenhouses doing something bad. That's pretty special. Snake! I haven't shown fishing yet. We can do that quickly here, if I can get into position. Can't fish in there. Oh, I have to hold it, that's why. Fishing in this game is kind of boring, like a lot of other Harvest Moons. Though do keep in mind it is also, I think, the afternoon. I lost it, whatever. This is another thing you can build. Two of them, actually. One, the hot spring, which is pretty nice. I don't know why they put it up here. It's kind of out of the way. But also this bridge. At the start of the game, the bridge is out. But when you come up here, there's this nice little old couple. Just waiting up here at the restaurant that you can't actually buy anything from. They're just stuck here. She's got brain problems. And this is the summit of the mountain. So at the start of the game, you can get up here. You have to make a bridge later. But up until then, all you would have to do is go to where the carpenters are, and then just climb up this tree. So it doesn't make that much difference. Go out and meet the ladies, man! I completely forgot where the festival's supposed to be held. We haven't actually gone into town, so let's do that. See if I can find the grave of one of my animals. Yes, there it is. Crew is one of my chickens. I let him die. Can't remember why. I think it was just pure negligence. Grandpa. And then a bunch of other old graves. Deep thoughts are written. I probably missed the festival, but I don't really care. Nothing really happens. Bar's open, though. Fuck you too, man. Yeah, you do that. This is something that isn't in the Harvest Moons that we're playing right now. But there are rivals to the Bachelors. Harris here, the mailman, he is into Maria, who you'll probably remember from the Tomodachi live streams. Let's get shit-faced. Deep thoughts with gods. Oh yeah, I was probably at the beach. You'll probably recognize some of these guys, at least in the face. They're not exactly the same characters that we see later on, but Marvelous wasn't too bothered with repeating some of the characters. There's a church. This is a flower shop. This is where you buy the seeds. This is a bakery. This is just where you buy cakes so that you can get stamps on your cake card. He is a postman in this game. In Back to Nature and Friends of Mineral Town, he's a sheriff. Here it is. I didn't miss it. Why do you look sad? What I like about this is when you talk to people, they kind of stay in the position they were to look at you. So you can just make them look completely schizophrenic. There's Maria. She's a fan favorite because she has glasses. I want to stay home and bake cookies with it. I guess I have to talk to literally everyone. Don't get to talk to Zach, though. None of the girls in this game are very hard to romance. Karen was super easy just because if you kept showing her your dog, the game was bugged that every time you showed it to her, it would still increase her affection points. It's only supposed to work once per day. But if you gave flowers to everyone, it still counted. Bringing my dog indoors just for pure courtesy. I'm not actually going to save. I don't see myself ever really playing Harvest Moon 64. At least this particular save in any serious capacity ever again. This is the vineyard. One of the side stories of this game is saving this place. I don't have a bottle with me. If I did have a bottle, what I could do is come down here and then use it on these barrels, and I would get free wine from it. You wouldn't be able to sell it, but you could drink it. Yes, please divorce your terrible husband. Not that we actually know if he's a terrible husband, but he's kind of a dick. Also in this game, Karen left the town. She went on a boat and went into the big city. So that's why you're not going to be seeing her. Oh, kids and their sense of scale. If you get that guy medicinal berries, herbs, he can eventually make potions. I never bothered. No. That's Zach's daughter. May, I think. This lady's the midwife. She helps your wife when she's given birth. And that's about it. She also looks after May, which doesn't really matter. Mary is the librarian. Or Maria, I think, in this game. They kind of flip-flop on which ones they call her. Just coming to the library and reading the books makes Maria like you more. And this is the mayor's house. She says right to his face. My husband sucks, but that's why I married him. I fucking hate Rick's shop. He sells some decent tools and some things you kind of really need, but he's not open on Wednesdays and weekends, and he's also not open when it's raining. This guy's some kind of craftsmanship, or crafts. This is what it's like when I talk. He does some kind of crafts. Eventually you can get him to make a blue version of that, and then you can buy it from him, but that's all he does. He's just there. She can die. One of the few characters that legitimately dies. You have to do a certain sequence of events, though, and I avoided it. If you marry Ellie, she always lives. Nope. There's a weird delay pressing the down C button to eat. Nope, whatever. Clean that up. Buying from the menu, you just automatically eat them. My select button isn't working, so I'm not sure which of these actually adds to the cake stamp thing. It is the record worked on Bomberman. Motherfucker, it's his fault. I like rain, but it makes me bloaty. This is kind of an old school way of telling what all the bachelor arts think of you. Just a colored heart. Don't see that much anymore. That's another thing you could do. A little more fleshed out in Hero of Leaf Valley, though. When you get a greenhouse, you can buy pretty much every crop now. I think the only thing they're not selling is strawberries. Wow, it's limited. Eggplants are the only things you can grow in fall until you get the greenhouse. See, because of this game, I always just expected there to be both corn and tomatoes. But in Tale of Two Towns, in the update that's going to be going up today, along with this stream, it's only corn. For some dumb reason, I can only buy corn at the first summer. Cabbage were awesome to me as a kid. It's a strange thing to say, but in this game they were worth such a good amount of money compared to the turnips and the potatoes that actually growing them seemed like a feat. Damn it. I was hoping his dialogue would just end at plant smell. Also, this is just grass seeds. She says that I think you can still plant them in fall, though. Yeah, what was this spin-off with the shop? My Little Shop or something? This here is the ranch. This is where we buy cows and chickens and sheep. There's another guy, there's another character that also left like Karen did. His name is Cliff. He's kind of a vagabond. Just comes and goes at his leisure. But if you don't befriend him, then he doesn't stick around. And he can eventually fall in love with Anne in this game. And their relationship is one of the few confirmed cases of spousal abuse. Occasionally you would see them walking around the town, or walking around the farm, and Cliff would just have a black eye. His brother's like, whatever, dude. I have all the girls up to a blue heart at least. Because that's basically the point where, like, yeah, we're friends. Which is all that's really required. Since it's raining, maybe I can actually catch something. Yeah. No, it has to be on the dock. It wasn't called Harvest Moon, it was a spin-off. The shop thing you're thinking of. There was one on the DS or 3DS. And it didn't sound especially interesting. Damn, you gotta be on the ball with these. All it is just taking your finger off the button. Damn. Yeah, once you hear the boink, you lost it. Son of a bitch. Harvest Moon, My Little Shop, oh, whatever. And now it's night. That's how you tell. When the audio of the rain skips for a second, that's the changeover. This game is kind of unrefined, you might say. Did I just instantly... whatever. Yeah, it'd be nice if Ponta was in this. He's sweet. Okay, I guess I'm just never getting a fish ever again. I used to be perfectly fine at this. Fuck it, whatever. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. You hurt my feelings. One nice thing about the game is, it's not hard to get around. Once you're out of the farm, anything that you're looking for is never really more than a screen or two away. Your wife doesn't like if you come home late. They're just all automatically asleep. And this is how you tell it's past midnight without looking at the clock. Oh, just past midnight. And here's another thing I haven't shown off. One of the things you can get from the carpenters is a hatch out to the roof. There's my horse. I completely forgot about him. You just automatically get a horse. You don't have to buy it. And something else you can get from the carpenters. That's kind of pointless. This little deck. You never use it. There's no purpose for it. But it's there. Finally, the jumping works correctly. But that's Harvest Moon 64. Pretty basic game. As far as an introduction, if you can get your hands on it, worth looking into. It's pretty dated. Later Harvest Moon games do a lot of things better. Like I mentioned, Story of Seasons, I think, is a pretty good introduction if you want. Or Friends of Mineral Town. I still need to replay that properly. But for this game, it's got a special place in my heart. My first Harvest Moon, one of the first, or like one of the few games from my childhood I still have. It's a sweet little game.